Hello friends, and welcome back to another video. Today we are talking about my November reading plans, which feeling a little bit overwhelmed, but anyway, here we go. So a lot of the books that are in my November TBR have rolled over from my fall and October TBR because there was a lot of them. And as you know, I wrapped up my physical TBR, and a lot of these I'm debating on taking out and wrapping up because they're just not priority right now. And so I think that's what's going to happen. So today, that is what we're going to do. We're going to go through all of my unwrapped books that I have left unwrapped for one reason or another. And if it's not going on my immediate TBR, that's what we're going to do. We're going to choose. Are you immediate TBR or are you going to be wrapped? First of all, my current reads right now, I am about 40% of the way through Plain Bad Heroines. This book starts off with 3 like mysterious deaths, and then it's been slow. It's been slow. It is marketed as like a gothic horror meets Hollywood satire. And there were a few moments where I was like, wow, that's creepy, but it's really, really slow. And I don't think if it weren't for the audiobook that I found on Everand, I don't know if I would be finishing this. But this is the first book we're currently reading. And you know, I always like to have multiple books going at the same time. So the other book that we're currently reading is Nightbane. I am about 20% of the way through it. So good. As you know, Sky Shade, when I'm filming this, Sky Shade came out 2 days ago. And Sky Shade's not gonna be the last book. So really excited. So far it's really good. I am definitely a team Grimm girly, so we'll see how this goes. And then another one that I am hybrid reading is Savage Lover by Sophie Lark. This is just a quick read. I could have this done today. The audiobook is 8 hours and I listen to it on 2.1 speed, and so I can have this done in 4 hours. And I've already started it, so less than 4 hours, so we'll see how that goes. Now on to the rest of the books that I want to read for the month of November. So I did end up reading The Pumpkin Spice Cafe. I finished it yesterday, actually. So I do want to read The Cinnamon Bun Bookshop in the month of November. The Pumpkin Spice Cafe, it was so cute. So freaking cute. I loved it. I gave it 3.5 stars, but I might bump it up to 4. Just because, I don't know, I loved it. It was so freaking cute. It was like Gilmore Girls meets Hallmark, but with some spice. It was so freaking cute. So I can't wait to jump into this one. And then my priority, 7 Year Slip. This has been on my TBR for over a year, so I would like to get this out in the month of November. And then I also want to finish the Off-Campus series by reading The Legacy. I don't know if I'm going to get to it. I might hybrid read this as well. But yeah, so I would like to check that series off my list. So those are our first 3 books that are on our TBR. All right, this one I have over here, but I might not have it on priority. I have 2 books left in the Don't Let Me series. Let Me Love You, and then Don't Let Me Down, I believe is the last one. This one is really short. It's less than 300 pages. And so it's not priority, but I'm going to leave it out just because it's quick. I can pump this out in a day. And I love this series, by the way. I love this series so freaking much. A priority is Empire of the Vampire by Jay Kristoff. I do have the second book, Empire of the Damned. This book, look at the artwork. Like, it is just so pretty. I do have the second book wrapped up somewhere on my shelf, so I have to read this because I don't know where Empire of the Damned is. And so this is priority. I think after I finish Nightbane, I may jump into this because I don't like having more than 2 fantasy books going on at the same time. So yeah, ooh, I can't show that, but yeah. All right, I also have the audiobook for this, so I made hybrid read that one. And then this one, I was wanting to make it priority TBR. This Spells Love, because it's been on my TBR since November of last year. How long is this book? Okay, yeah, it's a little over 300 pages. I mean, I've heard good things about it. She casts a spell to erase her ex from her heart, or from her past, but wakes up in an alternate reality in which she's lost more than she wished for. So, it sounds good. I don't know, we're going to put it in the maybe pile. And then a priority is The Ashes and the Star Cursed King. This will be a reread for me, but the third book in this series comes out on November 19th, so I really want to read this. That way, the third one, I can read it whenever I'm ready. A book that was on my priority, I mean, look at the artwork. It's so pretty. I mean, it was on my priority. Oh, and there's artwork throughout. Cool. This would be my first Olivia Blake. We'll try a chapter. We'll put that in the try a chapter pile. And then priority TBR is Rapture. This is the last book in the Fallen series. I want to finish the series out, so this is very much priority. If you don't know what this is a series that came out when I was in high school. I read the first 2.5 books and then never finished it. So I want to find out how the series ends. And another priority is Throne of the Fallen. I have Throne of Secrets wrapped up somewhere on my shelf, so I really need to get this one read and out of the way. Also, I love this cover. But I've heard a lot of people compare this book to Phantasma, and so that intrigues me quite a bit. So this is on my immediate must-read TBR. Then another book on my immediate must-read is Assistant to the Villain, because I have Apprentice to the Villain wrapped up somewhere on these shelves. So I need to read this. I tried to start it and I just could not get into it. So we'll give it another try. But I might have to hybrid read this. Another book that I really want to get to this month is Immortal Dark. I read the first 4 pages in October and I was really, really confused, but I think it was like right book, wrong time. So I do want to pick it up again this month and read further into it and give it a little bit more of a hearty good try. So we shall see. Another book that I want to read in the month of November that I'm going to hybrid read is Lights Out. I've heard that the audiobook for this is fantastic. So I will be hybrid reading this but hopefully this month. So this is on, I've already pre-ordered the second one. So yeah, I've heard great things about it too. 2 are on my immediate TBR. I have Frostbite, which is the second book in the Vampire Academy series. I have the rest of the series wrapped up somewhere on my shelf. So I have to read this because I don't remember where it's wrapped up at. And then Wisteria, I want to finish out. This is, first of all, this is on a 24 and 2024 list. But also because I really want to see how this series ends. And this book is beautiful. So beautiful. So this is on my November immediate TBR. So that is the first shelf. Why don't we just bring the good cart over here. So Deadly Occupants. While I am very much excited for this, I think I'm going to wrap this up and put it on my shelf. Just because it is not priority for me right now. So we're going into the wrapped pile. And then King's Cage. I think I wrapped up the 4th book in this series somewhere. So this has to be read. So this is going into priority reads. And then Darcy Coates' Ghost Camera. This is a collection of short stories. I have the audiobook on Everand. So I think I may do I don't know. I may keep it out just because I have the audiobook so I can get this done very, very quickly. And then Half a Soul. I want to read this. I want to read it, but I just don't know if it's the time. This is like a Regency fantasy. It's set in Regency time. And our main character, a fairy she's cursed. And she only has half a soul and she does not feel fear or embarrassment. And this does have a love story in it. So I really do want to read this. We'll put this in a try a chapter because it's one of those things where right book, wrong time. Did my light go off? It did. Right book, wrong time. So I don't know, how I feel about that. And then How Does It Feel is on priority TBR. I have the second one wrapped up somewhere on my shelf. So Badlands, this is on my priority TBR. I have this is book 4. Yeah. I have books 5 and 6 wrapped up somewhere on my shelf. So this is a priority TBR. Butcher and Blackbird. This is on my priority TBR. I want to hybrid read this because I've heard that the audiobook is so good. The Handmaid's Tale. My mom read this and my aunt watched the show, and I have really been wanting to read this. I think I'm going to put it in a try chapter because I don't know if I want it to be on my immediate TBR or if it's just going to be one of those that, you know, I put off for later. Love of My Afterlife. This book, immediate TBR, I believe, because I've heard such great things about it, and I really want to get to it. And it sounds like an easy, like, rom-com of a read. If you don't know what this is, our main character dies, and when she's in the waiting room for heaven, I guess, she meets the love of her life. And he gets sent back to Earth because it was a whoopsie, you're not supposed to be here, it's not your time type thing. And so she gets a set amount of time to find him and get him to fall in love with her, I believe. So very excited for that. Then we have Kill Switch by Penelope Douglas. I have the audiobook of this. This is on my immediate TBR. I've already started this book. And the last one I have wrapped up somewhere on my shelves. So I need to read this. Grimstone by Sophie Lark. This has to be on my immediate because Monarch, the second book in this like interconnected series, is wrapped up on my shelf somewhere. So I have to read it. And lastly, Ninth House is on my immediate TBR because, what is the second book called? Anyway, the second book is wrapped up somewhere on my shelf, so I have to read this. We have the last of my books that are not wrapped at this time. We have Gold by Raven Kennedy. This book is on my immediate TBR. I love this series, and I have to know what happens next. Then we have Goldfinch by Raven Kennedy, and I'm going to leave this out, but I don't know if it's going to be something that I immediately get to or not, so we shall see. We have The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. This is on my immediate TBR, just because it is on my 24 and 2024. I need to leave this out, so this will get read either this month or in December. And it's one of those that I may hybrid read. We shall see. And then we have Voyager by Diana Gabaldon. I have to read this because the next book is wrapped up somewhere on my shelf. I have started it. My goal is to like read all the books and then finish up watching the show. I've watched seasons 1, 2, and 3, I believe. This is book 3. So actually I've watched when they made it to America, to the colonies. So I've actually read more, I watched more than that, but before I watch any more, I want to finish the books. And then the last 2 books, we have Heartless Hunter. I want to read this. This is on my priority TBR because the next one comes out in February, I believe, or January. So I want to be ready to grab that as my book of the month pick when that time comes. And then we have The Prison Healer, which is immediate because the next 2 books in this trilogy is wrapped up somewhere on my shelves. So we have a lot of books that we got to wrap because I have a pile over here of like, let's just go over my book of the month picks and my aardvark picks for the month of November. That way I can kind of show you what is left on my shelves. All right, so my aardvark pick for the month of November was Memory Memorials. This is a horror, and it's a group of students that encounter supernatural terror while on a road trip through the Appalachians. So that sounds really interesting. Stephen King blurbed it and said that he loves this author. His stories are creepy, eerie, and propulsive. Nobody does suburban horror better. So just with that blurb, I'm excited to read this. I may leave this out as like a just in case book because that is so interesting. I am going to leave The Fae Princess out. This is the last book in the, what is this series even called? Is it the Never King series? Oh no, The Vicious Lost Boys. This is the last book in this series, so I am going to leave it out because I read all but that one and I can pump that out really fast. Another book that I want to put on my immediate TBR is my Vampire Plus One. If I really enjoyed this, I will go back and read My Roommate as a Vampire, but I am really excited about this book. This book sounds so good. And then for my book of the month picks, for the month of November, I chose Dinner with Vampires by Bethany Joy Lenz because I am a One Tree Hill fan through and through. The only thing is hang on just a second. I have the book of the month, and then I ordered this because It's signed and it came with a certificate of authenticity. And I have this one on display. I think this one is going to stay on display, and this one will be the one that I kind of like write in and all of that. So I'm thinking that's what's going to happen, because I'm just excited to have her autograph. Just because I want to be in the know, and it is less than 300 pages, I think I might leave this one out as a just in case. And then my add-ons for the month of November, I got God of the Woods and Intermezzo by Sally Rooney. These are chunkers. They're both over 400 pages. So I think I have heard nothing but great things about this book. So I think I'm not going to wrap it, and I'll leave it out for my maybe December pile. And then I am going to wrap this one because I have Normal People somewhere on this shelf. So I think I'm going to wrap this one. But yeah, so we have a lot of wrapping to do. I also have the Mistborn trilogy that I want to get into. I have those books. Hang on just a second. So I do have the Mistborn trilogy that I want to read. And then these two books I'm leaving out for Christmas. We have How My Neighbor Stole Christmas by Megan Quinn and The Christmas Tree Farm by Laura Gilmore. So yeah, these two books I'm not wrapping up. I'm leaving those for Christmas. And then I do want to get into the world of Brandon Sanderson. He has been all over my TikTok For You page. So on impulse, I went and got these. So we'll see. And I also do want to do a couple of videos in November of me like pulling numbers and reading for like a vlog, books that are over here. So that is something we will do. But yeah, I have a lot to read. There's just so many I want to get to. So yeah, let me know down below. Is there a book you saw in this video that you would like me to read, or that you would like to hear a review on? Just let me know in the comments below. If you made it this far in the video and you don't know what to comment, just leave me a little Christmas tree, because Christmas is coming up. And thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one.